Welcome everyone, this is Like It's 1985. This review is the Sword Impulse Gundam, but not just any Sword Impulse Gundam. This is apparently a line I've never heard before until I ordered this. It's called DformationS. What I think it is I think it's the same idea as the SD Gundam, except you don't have to do any building. So that's a good thing. Very nice box. You can see it's on display really nicely there. Looks like we've got the two the swords there, and we got the Gundam, of course, and then the beam boomerangs, and the sword silhouette pack, and the core splendor. So it looks pretty good. This thing's large. I don't know. This seems larger than maybe an SD Gundam. Not that I've ever owned an SD Gundam, but looks pretty big. On the side here, looks like we got a bio. It's all in Japanese about the pilot and the mobile suit. And my favorite part, other than the front, is this nice back here, showing the Gundam in different poses. And if we move to the side of the box, the other side here, it looks like it shows the how you put it together, and then what's kind of poses and accessories come with it. So, all right, so we'll pause. We'll get this thing open and give you my first impressions on this. Once you open the box, you'll find out that you have a set of instructions, and all you really need to do is put the top half of the Gundam to the bottom half. That's pretty simple. No real assembly or cutting from the tree or anything like that, so that's good. We got a little character card here, I guess. So let's take a look at what we get here. So out of the box, you get the top half of the Gundam, and the bottom half, and the core splendor. Very nice, as you can see. It does transform, and it does need to be transformed in order for it to join into the mobile suit. So get it to about like that. Now the instructions say to insert the nose into the bottom of the you can see there's a gray piece of plastic, there's a groove there, it slides in there. That's pretty hard to get in that way. I never had any success that way. So what I like to do is take it like this and get it positioned so it's like that. And then take this part here, and now you can insert it, and there's a little flange it has to go over, and then it's connected like that. The other way I could never get it. The way they explain it in the directions, they say to, transform the core splendor and then put it into the bottom half of the Gundam, which I never was able to do. So now that we've got him like this, let's just take a look at his articulation. So he's got just a swivel head, I think. There's no movement like that, just a straight swivel. 360 in the shoulders. Arms can go out like that. There's rotation at the upper arm, and you'll get a slight bend, as you can see. And then there's waist articulation, of course, like we saw earlier. The pouches, which normally on the model kit or on the mobile suit in action would hold as daggers, they are just one solid piece of plastic. They don't move. Looks like the front skirt armor, it does move like that. The back skirt armor, it does not. And here's a nice shot, because you can tell this is not a model kit. You've got a whole bunch of screws screwed into the plastic there. As far as leg articulation, it's not a ball joint. It's more like if you can see down there, it's just a hinge, is the best way I can describe it. So you don't get any forward or backward movement. You just kind of get in and out like that on that hinge. Bend at the the knee actually is up right there, and there is kind of there's actually a separate joint. I can see there's one joint for the whole leg to go in like that, and then there is a kind of a swivel right where this my index finger is, to swivel the knee, articulate the knee. But that's the range of that. The ankle armor, it's on that kind of a swivel there, and looks like a ball joint for the foot. And the foot actually does, you can see how it can collapse like that. It does have the articulation point there. And as for the accessories, let's start off with the boomerang, the beam boomerangs. As you can see, there's two pieces here, and I have to admit, I originally thought that they made it so that there's one piece that didn't have the beam and one piece that didn't that did have the beam, and that this was bigger than this one. But actually, what it does is, if you're not using it, this folds into here, and then on the sword silhouette pack, you can plug this in the little hole there, and it actually stays in really nicely. And then, of course, you can take the sword silhouette pack, and there are two holes, well, not two holes, but two indentations that match up with indentations there, and you just plug it in there, and it does stay in there really nicely once you get in there. Yep. And there you have the Sword Impulse Gundam with his sword silhouette pack on there. Of course, the anti-ship swords, they have holes here, so you could mount them on here. There we go. This is a really nice figure. I like it a lot. They just put a lot of thought into it. So yeah, you can have the anti-ship swords, although well, you can probably rotate them up a little bit like this. So yeah, really nice. But let's go ahead and take them off and put the swords where they can be put to good use. Now the hands, didn't mention about the wrists, but the wrists do rotate. The hands are kind of not a totally hard plastic, but it's soft enough that you can kind of see how I can force it a little bit. And so you just kind of slip the handle in between the fingers and the thumb, like that. And it actually can go a little farther, probably. There we go, that's better. So very securely. And we'll do the same thing over here. Just kind of get the plastic a little loose. And there we have the Sword Impulse Gundam ready to go to battle. So let's take a look at the height of this guy, and we'll do a size comparison with my model kits and mobile suit in action. So this guy, from the bottom of his feet to the top, the very tippity top of his yellow V fin, is about 5 1/4 inches high. So pretty good size. Again, the nice thing about this is you don't have to build anything. You just snap the two halves together of the Gundam and you're set. So when we come back, I'm going to take a brief look at the size comparison with my other Gundam, or Sword Impulse Gundams, and then we'll do some final thoughts. And here's a quick size comparison to other model kits and figures. Starting from our right, we have the Mobile Suit in Action figure. Next up, we have the 1:144 scale model kit. Of course, the DformationS Sword Impulse, and the 1:100 model kit. So you kind of get an idea of the size of this guy compared to actual model kits and the Mobile Suit in Action. So final thoughts, the DformationS Sword Impulse Gundam I got in sale from Gundam Store and More for about $8. So I thought I got a good price on them. I think he was maybe like 10 or 11 bucks originally. The draw for me is there's no building at all. You just assemble the two halves of the Gundam and you're all ready to go. Do I recommend this? Absolutely. Of course, I'm a little biased being a fan of the Sword Impulse, but and I don't know anything about the other DformationS line. But if the other deformation figures are like this, then yes, I can recommend the line, because, like I said, there's no assembly, no cutting parts from trees and putting it together. So for $8, yes, I recommend it. All right, well, thanks for watching, everyone. Until the next review, bye.